Just want to say congratulations to Enes Kanter. Became an American citizen yesterday. If you're not familiar with Enes Kanter, he's an NBA player. And he loves America so much that he changed his name to Enes Kanter Freedom. He said because freedom is what America is all about. And he loves America and he loves freedom. You know, back in the 1800s, a French politician slash philosopher slash historian, Alexis Tocqueville, spent a couple years in America, traveling the whole country to find out what made America great. And he said America is great because America is good. If America ceases to be good, America will cease to be great. Enes Kanter Freedom represents the greatness of America. Immigrants, people from all over the world, striving for freedom, for the love of freedom, and they know America is that shining light of freedom, the bastion of freedom that protects freedom throughout the world. That God has shed his grace on thee and given us the greatest freedom that man has ever known. We lifted the chains of a tyrannical king, and we've been free ever since. And I have a lot of hope in America, even though right now our freedom is under the greatest attack of freedom our history has ever seen. Mass censorship. I'm even censored, and I'm just a blue-collar guy. Mass censorship, mass surveillance, government mandates, government lockdowns, shutting down our churches. Freedom has never been under such greater assault than it is now. But there's hope. There's hope because we have immigrants coming to this country like Enes Kanter Freedom, who love freedom and remind us of what we have to protect. Enes Freedom has been speaking out against the tyrannical dictatorship of communist China, which has so much influence over our country right now. Enes Freedom has been calling out LeBron James because LeBron makes millions of money in China, and he bends a knee to their censorship. He bends a knee to their will, and he's bought and paid for by China, unfortunately. And Enes Kanter is one basketball player who will not be bought by China. He's one of the few that will speak up against China's genocide of the Uyghur Muslims. The Muslims over there that are literally in concentration camps, being tortured, being systematically killed, having their organs taken out and sold on the black market. And yet our president is silent about it. These basketball players that are making $1 million are silent about it. And what happened in that situation is, years ago, that was one thing as a conservative Republican I couldn't understand, how Republicans supported this China policy to trade with them. You know, I like the old policies Reagan had to defeat Russia, the old Soviet Union. He said, you know, the Soviet Union is like 20 years behind us in technology. So if we build up our military and our nuclear missiles, they'll try and keep up with us and they'll go broke. We'll bankrupt them. And that's what we did. We bankrupted them, and they knew the only way they could survive is to allow some freedom. I mean, they're not as free as us, but they allowed some freedom in capitalism, and the Soviet Union broke off, and then the Berlin Wall was taken down. So that's how you deal with communists. That's how you deal with people that are against freedom. The China policy that we've had on the Republicans and Democrats, I didn't understand. It's like, why would you want to build these people up? The argument we were getting from the politicians was, well, you know, if we engage China and we let them, participate in the capitalistic society, and we'll let them, participate in capitalism and in the free markets, they'll gradually open up. and they'll become more like us. But the reverse happened. The reverse happened. We got greedy businessmen like LeBron James and Michael Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York City, that have so many millions of dollars, Mark Cuban, so many millions of dollars they make off of China. They submit to China. China tells them what to say and what not to say. You know, they will not offend China, and they obey them. This is, you know, we've seen John Cena when he's talked about Taiwan being a country. They're like, no, you can't say that. So he had to go on Chinese television and say in Chinese he apologizes to the Chinese government for calling Taiwan a country. These guys bend the knee, and it goes against everything America was founded on. It goes against our founding fathers who said the Christian American would rather die on his back than live on his knees. Goes against our founding fathers who said those who give up freedom in order to have safety or security deserve neither. Goes against everything our founding fathers taught us and left us. And just the name of mentioning our founding fathers make these leftist fools freak out and tear down their statues and rip up anything resembling our founding of this country. But I'm thankful, and I want to welcome Enes Kanter Freedom to America because he represents the greatness of America. And most people are rejecting this communist Chinese dictatorship that Joe Biden is trying to impose on us. And the Democrats in these Democrat-run states, they're all flocking to Florida. And if you want to come to Florida, go to realestateforlife.org and tell them you want to move to Florida because we have a freedom-loving governor. And, you know, this is what I foresee. I see hope for America. You know, liberty always wins. Freedom wins. Freedom wins. The free market always corrects itself. So right now we have mass censorship. The big tech liberal billionaires are censoring our conservative voices. But we got a man named Donald Trump working with freedom-loving people that have some money, and they're going to build a platform. And if Donald Trump chooses to run that platform and not run for president again, I predict he'll be the richest man that ever lived. So he could put that on his resume. The best president we ever had and the richest man that ever lived. And we have plenty on our bench. Unlike the Democrats, we have a deep bench. You know, I foresee a Ron DeSantis, Winsome Sears ticket. That's the winning ticket right there. Trust me, that is the winning ticket. And we're going to win the midterms in a landslide. We're going to win the presidency in a landslide. And freedom will reign once again in America because it's made up of immigrants that love America. My grandfather came from Italy and 12 years old. He loved freedom. At 12 years old, they handed him a paintbrush when he got off of that boat. And he by the time he was in his 20s, he had his own thriving painting business. That's the greatness of America. That's the freedom we're allowed. And people are rejecting this. I'm telling you, I'm on the street every day. I'm not in some university talking to like-minded people. I'm in the street talking to people of every lifestyle, every race, every religion. And the people are sick of this tyrannical government, these Democrats that want to impose communist Chinese tactics to keep us under control. We're rejecting it, and freedom will reign. And again, I just want to say welcome to America, Enes Kanter Freedom, and God bless America.